Okay, I now take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Sailesh Iyer, sir. He's a professor, CSE IT Department, Rai School of Engineering, Rai University at Ahmedabad. Dr. Sailesh Iyer also has a PhD Computer Science and currently serving as professor with Rai University, Ahmedabad. He has more than 22 years of experience in academics, industry, and corporate training, out of which 18 years are in core academics. He is involved as an editor for various books, projects with Riva Publishers, IGI Global, and Bentham Science. A hardcore academician and administrator, he has excelled in corporate training, delivered expert talk in various AICTE-sponsored STTPs, FDP, reputed universities, government-organized workshops, orientation and refresher courses organized by HRDC, Gujarat University. Research contributions include reputed publications, track chair at ICDLAIR 2020, Springer Italy, IC Softcom 2020, IEMIS 2020 Springer, ICRITO 2020 IEEE, and TPC member of various reputed international and national conferences, reviewer of international journals like Multimedia Tools and Applications, International Journal of Big Data Analytics in Healthcare from IGI Global, Journal of Renewable Energy and Environment, and editor in various journals. Expert talk on research-based topics in various universities and conferences, in addition to guiding research scholars as supervisor. He has also been invited as judge for various events, examiner for reputed universities, the Computer Society of India lifetime member, and also serving as managing committee member, CSI Ahmedabad chapter since last 2 years. Research interest areas include computer vision and image processing, cyber security, data mining and analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Very, very welcome, Dr. Sailesh Iyer, sir. Your experience, your qualifications, credentials, awards span have a big, wide spectrum. Very warm welcome. Please go ahead with your.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Manoj. Very good afternoon to all the dignitaries present as well as all the participants. A big thanks and congratulations to Dr. Prakash and Dr. Sampath for organizing this wonderful conference. And especially I had the privilege of being a part of the session conducted by Dr. Siddharth. So it was really a very good session where we were taken out from a technological domain to a spiritual domain. So that is very much required for a regular balancing of life as such. A few points before I actually share my screen and start my presentation, few points which I would like to reflect upon, because very pertinent point which we are experiencing as academicians, especially during the COVID situation since last 2020 March onwards up till now, and probably we are expecting, the way the statistics are increasing, maybe a third wave or a lockdown is around the corner. This is what the talk is. We are expecting that it should not happen, but then somehow there is a lot of speculation regarding this. So during this time, it is very obvious that we have what Dr. Siddharth was saying, that there's a huge, suicide cases, there's a huge imbalance in the emotional quotient, etc., that is happening. So I think so one of the reasons for this, other than the comfort zone that we are talking about, that students are not moving out of the comfort zone, the second thing is social media is a very big reason. I would just like to reflect upon that, because I'm from the technological domain and I would like to reflect upon this particular aspect, that whenever social media was made for connecting, but now it is a media for comparison. Like suppose if I have gone, or I say Dr. Prakash is on a visit to Maldives, right? He posts his photos. I mean, this is happening at a professional level also, not just students, at a professional level also. Immediately, I see those photos on social media. I get attracted that, okay, I also want to move out. So there's a pressure to maybe perform, earn more. Along with that, if I see that I am in a condition where I'm not able to move to Maldives or any other place, then there is a lot of frustration creeping in. So this comparison keeps on going up. So this is one of the big reasons. And second thing is that the upbringing, very pertinently said by Dr. Siddharth, is the upbringing of the parents, because right now everything is money oriented. There is no space for any kind of behavioral etiquettes. If I want to even, I have seen many people in the society, also many kids even, they don't wish unless they want anything from us. Just a good morning also is subject to some material consideration that they want to have. So this is something that is actually changing the whole equation of the emotional and mental intelligence, which I call. So a lot of things which we as academicians can do, I would like to cover some of them in the attitude part or the mindset part that I would like to cover in my presentation. Now I'm just sharing my screen. I'm just here to talk about some research opportunities in engineering, but along with research opportunities, I would also like to focus upon the mindset part. Again, a big gratitude and thanks to the organizers for inviting me, and I'm privileged to be part of this conference as a guest speaker. Now, first thing is that, I mean, where our educational fraternity is not promoting research, because research is not just a degree. But right now, actually, one of the comparison quotient was that most of the people are doing research for the sake of getting a degree, right? Now, when you go for a degree, you are not doing actual research. So again, when you're guiding the students, that research culture is not reflected in your teachings, in your guiding that you are offering to your scholars and to your students. So basically, the connect between the actual problem of the industry or of the rural areas and the college or academics is not there. Especially during the last 2 years, we have faced this problem that we have not been able to connect with the actual stakeholders. What I mean by actual stakeholders is that I'm working on an agricultural project where I'm going to deploy some IT solutions. I'm not able to go to the field because of the lockdown. Now, probably since the last few months, we have started this activity. But I find that whenever I'm interacting with students, because I have been a speaker at many events and I like to interact with students. So few things that I've observed in the students' mindset, which I want to reflect right now, is that they, whatever project is given to them, they start Googling for that, right? I mean, they are not ready to go to the actual field to get the requirements. So the problem starts from that, because they are getting some requirements that somebody has collected and posted on Google. So they are not aware about the actual reality that's going on in, not in the problems that the people are facing, as well as the solutions that are possible. I mean, if I Google for a particular agricultural solution, maybe I may get a US based solution, something that has been tried in the US. But in the US, the conditions are different. In India, the conditions are different. So how do I relate with that? So that is a major challenge which most of the researchers are facing right now, that they are not ready to work, devote time, and that is probably hampering the progress. So few of the things that I would like to share with today, though I think so it's a pre-lunch session, so I would not like to extend my talk too much, but I would just like to focus upon some aspects of it. Like there is a kind of a food related concern also, food and medicines. This, during this COVID time also, what food we are getting, is this food coming through authentic sources? We order many things through Zomato, even seafood is there, this is being ordered. So are we getting the authentic food? Are we getting the food with proper nutrition levels? Are we getting the food with proper consideration? Is there any manipulation in between, any additions of ingredients in between, in the supply chain? All these are issues which are major issues concerning the food and supply chain management domain, as well as the pharmaceutical domain. So for that, actually, we are working on a few solutions. Like one of my scholars is working on a food related supply chain, where blockchain is being introduced to counter this, and a new mechanism in blockchain is being tried out. So when we had this survey about food, we found out that there was some information that people wanted about food, because now they are more conscious about what kind of food they are eating. Earlier they were not. So they wanted a quality certificate. Now normally in most of the cases we don't have a quality certificate. They also wanted whether the chemical fertilizers and pesticides are used in the production purpose or production process of agricultural commodities, or etc. Production standards, harvest date, nutrition. What is the level of nutrition? Now people are getting very much health related. They are very much conscious. They want all the details about the health, and they want to build an immunity. The immune system has to be strong. So there are a lot of solutions being worked out on the nutrition front also. Place of origin, from where did the food come, right? Where did it go? Which are the places where it has traveled? It is authentic. Has it been adulterated in some manner or not? All this can be found out. People want to know about it. Who is the producer of that food or the commodity? And the circulation process. So all this is what people are anxious about. These are the major concerns which people are anxious about. That is where actually blockchain can be used. So we are right now combining blockchain into agriculture as well as supply chain logistics as well as food management. So blockchain can be used in farm inventory management. It can be used to enhance agricultural supply chain efficiency. I'll try to just show some use cases how this model is working. Modernization of farm management software. Now this is an area where not only blockchain but a lot of other solutions like IoT. I have a patent on a robotic underarm which can be used for plucking the vegetables and other things from underground, weeds, etc., and also spraying water and pesticides. So this is an area where a lot of work is being done and a lot of work can be done still. So farm management is a big domain, and rural solutions like smart villages. Almost 1 lakh plus smart villages are the target of the government as per the budget of 2019. Due to COVID, that has taken a little bit of setback, but we are working again towards it. And educational institutions and researchers are also invited to be part of that initiative, because we want to make villages sustainable. One of the themes of this conference is sustainability also. So we want sustainable solutions. We want villages to be self-sufficient so that people don't have to move out from villages to cities. So all these are problems which are very much pertinent, and that technology can play a big role in providing solutions. IoT optimization security in agriculture. This is an area where IoT, I'm actively working upon. We are working upon 2 or 3 more patents right now with a lot of mechanical domain and agricultural domain people. And we are working out solutions for that. Provide fair pricing. Again, if people are directly buying from the farmer, that would be a fair pricing that farmer would be getting, and also the customer would be getting. So there are solutions which can be worked out in that domain. And micro loans can also be provided for small to mid-sized farmers. So right now government is giving a lot of subsidy, but other than that, micro loans can also be done, and blockchain can be a mode where we can introduce this micro loans in an authentic manner. So crop and soil monitoring, blockchain can be used. Warehousing and distribution, blockchain can be used. And retail and marketing, blockchain can be used. So everywhere you can find that blockchain is playing a very big role. Why I'm reflecting blockchain in particular is because blockchain is an area which is normally, if you ask the average person in India, they will say blockchain is just cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. It is much more than that. So sometimes we may say that, okay, so India government or RBI is banning this particular Bitcoin related activity. Then people feel that blockchain does not have any kind of future. It's not like that. Blockchain is a part of blockchain, maybe Bitcoin, but blockchain is much more than that. So blockchain in agriculture, we can be using it for land usage statistics. We can be using it for crop efficiency. We can do a financial audit regarding the different farms and how they are managing their management of financial assets. And also we can have flood mitigation and all this. So a lot of blockchain related use cases are there in agriculture and smart farming part. Now coming to the supply chain actually we have a limited granularity of data. Again, some of the problems that people faced during COVID, especially in the supply chain aspect, was because we were not automized, or did not have automated operations. There is a single source which is amplifying the supply chain risk. If that source is not working or it is out of order, then the entire supply chain crumbles. Slowed digital transformation. We don't have transformation taking place like automation I was talking about, self-driven vehicles or autonomous vehicles, which we are talking about. That can be a game changer in the domain of logistics, supply chain and logistics. We don't need a driver. We don't need anybody to show the direction. Everything is managed through a autonomous vehicle, and all the details are being shared with the particular authorities so that they can govern, and if any changes required, they can communicate also. So slowed digital transformation has actually resulted in all these activities slowing down, and due to that, we are finding that still we are dependent upon manpower for that. And if the manpower is not available during COVID situation or lockdown situation, then the entire supply chain system is crumbling. And we are maintaining traditional inventory strategies. We don't have an inventory. Like I was just going through some of the innovations in various devices. So I found a refrigerator. Now we can expect this at any time in India. A refrigerator which has been invented, which has a mechanism where it can alert you regarding on your mobile regarding how much which particular item needs to be ordered. Like suppose if in your refrigerator milk is less, only one packet is there, it will tell you that milk is to be ordered. If any particular grocery commodities that you're maintaining in the refrigerator that needs to be ordered, that notification is received by you. Also, among the ingredients that are kept in your refrigerator, right, this smart refrigerator can give you an alert that these are the items in your refrigerator and you can make these dishes out of it, and these are the recipes for it. So you can just wonder that how easy it is to manage your inventories. So it is not just the simple traditional inventory management, it's also much more value addition in this domain. So right now, when we are dealing with students in particular, students don't have that insight. We have to give them that insight that this is where we can play an important role. This is what the requirement is. Now the requirements are increasing and we are not able to catch up to that. And there's a lack of actionable data and insight. So whenever logistics is being concerned, we were not, I mean, like I would like to give an example that during COVID, we found this problem that a lot of people lost their lives because they were not able to locate which hospital has an ICU. It's very sad to note down that people were in the ambulance for 2 or 3 hours and they were going from hospital to hospital. They were not able to get the details. So there is a lot of data being generated, but that data is not being properly analyzed and results are not being communicated to the stakeholders. So this is something which can be a game changer going ahead, where we can look at all these technological solutions which can lead to the problem solutions in these domains. So as I told you that COVID has, I mean, there have been a lot of technology related supply chain disruptions due to COVID, and that is going to automate most of the operations. So what kind of operations can be automated? Like top 10 industry trends and innovations in 2021, right? We are now into 22. We have just entered 22. But if you find Internet of Things, a lot of startups have come in through Internet of Things. Even I am a regular, I regularly watch Shark Tank and such programs regarding innovations, where innovations and new projects are being deployed. And I'm interacting with students on a regular basis. I'm interacting with different faculties of different domains, other than CSIT also. So I find that people are now they have started thinking about innovation. They've started thinking about a lot of things which can be done for the future. So Internet of Things, AI, robotics, last mile delivery. Again, this is a concept which has been very much implemented. I would just like to give an example here. Grofers earlier is now Blinkit, and they are delivering the goods in 10 minutes. They have Amazon started delivery in 2 hours. So this is something which was taking 2 or 3 days. Now they have changed their entire business mode, and they are now coming into on the demand supply. That means whenever a person requires it, they don't have to wait for 2 hours for delivery, or maybe 2 days for delivery. They can give it in 10 minutes. So this is the competition that is being experienced by the industry, and consumers are the winners here because they're getting all the facilities. Warehouse automation, again, all the warehouse needs to be automated, and all the supply chain management can be a part of it through this automation. Blockchain, as I told, a lot of innovations are taking place in blockchain. Data analytics, it's a big domain because a lot of data is there, but that data analytics is not being done properly, and visualization is also lacking. So there are huge industry demand for this particular domain. Like there are companies who want proper results to be visualized and proper action to be taken. So if they have a proper data analytic method in place, then probably that would be the solution. Cloud computing for storage, because a lot of data is being generated. Now we need to go for the secure storage of this data and fast retrieval of the data. So that is through cloud computing. A lot of other services is also being provided through cloud computing, like software as a service, the infrastructure as a service. A lot of such domain expertise are available. Autonomous vehicle, which is going to be the future. And along with that, I would like to say that green energy and energy management solutions, where renewable energy is also one of the domains where a lot of work is being done. So these are the areas where I expect a lot of change going forward. This is what I was just talking about. I would just like to go for the supply chain management here. So COVID vaccine supply chain, again, is an example where we can track the shipment delivery, because in between there was a problem that Ramdev severe fake injections or fake medicines were implanted in the supply chain network, and that led to a lot of problems. So through blockchain, you can track which particular shipment is being delivered, whether it is authentic or not, and you, even the person who is taking the vaccine, can track the origin of the vaccine. So this is something which is going to be the game changer going ahead. In various countries, actually, they have automated vaccination system also, where a robot goes from house to house, and it actually knocks on the door. The person who is opening the door, the credentials are checked, and the vaccine is given by the robot only. So there's a lot of innovation coming through robotics, through autonomous vehicles, which can actually govern the path going forward. I was talking about seafood. This is the supply chain summary. Normally what happens, so at every stage there is manipulation possible. Every stage there can be some or the other things, product can be replaced or something can be added. So this authenticity is very much required, that this chain is being followed properly. So blockchain can play a very important role in this. Blockchain can be important for education. Like we expect all the verification of documents, etc., to be done by the industry through blockchain. So we don't need a physical mail to go. It is directly a request sent. That authentication is done by the credible source of the educational institute, and that is conveyed to the people. So ultimately what you find is that all these are domains where in education we can have blockchain. So sometimes we feel that blockchain is underutilized because we are not finding that much research opportunities or research work being done in India. But I believe a lot of things can be done, and education is one domain where a lot of things can be added here. Earlier, traditional verification would be done of educational certificates. And this was an incident in 2017 April, where the Tanzanian president, he sacked 10,000 civil servants for submitting fake educational certificates. Now, the tracking mechanism was not there. Now with blockchain, we can avoid this, and we can have authentic tracking of the documents. So verification is done through this process. Like entire flow has been shown here, and this is one more project where we are working on for our university. elections can be again online using blockchain. Now, this is a project where even IIT Madras is working on it, where they are going for online uh, election mechanism using blockchain. It's a project by the government, and I don't know what stage it is, but I read somewhere that it is in progress. So during this time, actually in February also, some states are going for election. So can we have such a mechanism where we can have online voting, we can avoid crowding, we can avoid a lot of election rallies, and we can have a lot of work being done through blockchain. So it is possible, though it may take some time, but I expect that probably 2024 elections would be in online mode using blockchain, and that would be authentic, transparent, and it would be giving the accurate results. And if I am voting through blockchain, I can actually track whether my vote has been counted actually by the people or not. And the person who is actually counting the votes can also verify whether I have voted actually or not, it is authentic or not. So fake voting can be avoided. So a lot of issues that are taking place in our regular elections, physical elections, that can be avoided. So these are steps that can be taken pre-election, election, and post-election. Robotics is a big game changer going ahead, and I feel that a lot of, I mean, I'm working on a robotics project also. One of the projects where we have applied for funding, which is right now in progress, is where we are creating humanoid robot for educational institutions, especially rural educational solutions, because it was found that in 2017-18 a survey was done of Gujarat schools, and it was found that in rural government schools, most of the students who are in 5th standard don't know even the basic alphabets, and they don't know the basics counting in maths. So this was a this was an eye opener for the education department, as it was reflected in newspapers. And then they started thinking of how this can be, or what is the reason for this, and how it can be actually removed. So during this project, actually, when I did all the groundwork, I found out that most of the school teachers are already, the school teachers are not as per the count required. That means in a school, if there are 10 teachers required in a primary school or secondary school in rural areas, there are hardly 20 to 30% of them available, recruited. Balance vacancies are idle. On top of that, I also found that when this issue was going on, most of the teachers who are present are sent for any other administrative work, and they are not actually doing the academic work that much. So they are busy in collection of data for this purpose. Government is asking this data, so they are busy in collection of that data. So this is where I think humanoid robots can play a very important role. The only challenge here is how can we make it cost effective? Because a humanoid robot, normally when I asked for the cost, uh, I mean, we are not adding our cost here, but our cost of the software, etc. But humanoid robot is costing anywhere between 3 to 15 lakhs, depending upon the functionality required. So if you want to again customize it, there'll be a cost involved for that. So this is again where we are finding that cost-effective robots can be a game changer. Now there was an experiment done by one of the village teachers. Actually, he has tried to create a robot out of e-waste, and that, I believe, a robot can be available at 50,000 also. And if that is actually going to take place on a mass production, then it can be very innovative solution for the future. This is one more solution which a lot of work is going on, but we need still a very connected, effective method for smart AI and IoT based waste management system. Here, blockchain can also be used, integrated with this. So this is a game changer going ahead, where we find that all this uh, waste management, actually right now it is being done manually. We need to automate it completely. And this is where a lot of research is currently going on. So smart cities are connected everywhere. We are connected through different modes like Wi-Fi, etc. And we want smart lights, everything we want in a smart manner. This is where probably we need to automate our operations. So these are the new technologies which are actually governing rural India, or which would be going for becoming game changers for the future. Like I was also on the panel discussion of Stanley College of Engineering for Women Student Forum organized panel discussion for smart intelligent farming in September. So we were just discussing this, and there was a few dignitaries other than me, like there was IBM scientist who was talking about how they had changed the scenario in a village in Bihar through a farming prototype that was developed. So IoT, AI, blockchain, big data analytics, drones, nanomaterials, robots, all these are going to be game changers for rural India. And I believe that 2030, by 2030, we should be expecting uh, all the particular farmers to be like CEO of their company, sitting in their offices, and they can manage their resources from sitting in their offices. So with these words, I would just like to sum up my presentation, and I would like to thank again and congratulate the authorities for actually having this successful conference. And if any questions or any queries, I'm open to that, or any suggestions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Manoj Jain, sir, any questions?
No, as usual, again, a very nice presentation, compact, precise, and connecting us with technology and bringing awareness to people from non-technological background, whether it is scholars or even doctors who are not from this subject matter. It's a great platform, as we usually say, for exchanging information and becoming aware of other sides of other industries. As we say, it's like other side of information, a different stream. And blockchain is a big talk of the town, and definitely it is taking shape big way in next 5 years, I would say, if I'm not wrong, Dr. Sailesh Iyer, sir.
Surely. And it is really difficult for me to take you to the technological domain after the spiritual session by Siddharth sir. So I hope it was useful. Thank you.